All right, so welcome. Hello. Today is going to be a video workshop on integrity. All right, so I am super bummed that we don't get to finish our program in the way that it's supposed to be finished. Y'all have been doing amazing work, and we've just enjoyed working with you so much. It's like, yeah, it's I'm sad that I won't get to see you guys really graduate and finish this program in the way that we expected, in the time frame that we expected. But I wanted to leave you with something just kind of um, to make up for some of that stuff that we didn't get to yet. So yeah. All right. So first, a scenario. Nancy's boss has just let her know that her customer's order is about to leave the warehouse. As she picks up the phone to call them, he tells her there's a problem. Okay. Nancy, the shipment was damaged by someone on our warehouse team, he says. There are some dings, but this should not affect the product's performance. If they complain, we'll blame it on the trucking company that delivered it to us. Nancy pauses, feeling uncomfortable. But didn't our warehouse crew damage the product? Her boss shrugs. Yeah, but the customer doesn't know that. I'll just file a claim now, saying it was damaged on delivery. Don't worry, they won't even notice the damage. Nancy's boss walks out, and she sits at her desk, unsure what to do. She knows it's dishonest to blame the damage on the trucking company. It's also dishonest to deceive her customer and give them a less than perfect product. We'll return to that in a little bit. Um, Definition of integrity. 1. Adherence to moral and ethical principles, soundness of moral character, honesty. 2. The state of being whole, entire, or undiminished. And 3. A sound, unimpaired, or perfect condition. Although the definition is sound, it can be a bit complex to define integrity in our everyday lives. So you could say that integrity is always doing the right thing, even when no one is looking, and even when the choice isn't easy. Or you might see integrity as staying true to yourself and your word, even when you're faced with serious consequences for the choices that you're making. Alternatively, look at the second and third of these definitions. These were likely meant for structures, such as the integrity of a building, but we can just as easily apply this definition to ourselves. When we have integrity, we're whole and in perfect condition, and we're not compromised by awkward inconsistencies, right? When we live our lives with integrity, it means that we're always honest and we let our actions speak for who we are and what we believe in. I lost my place. Oh, there it is. Okay. Integrity is a choice we make, and it's a choice we must keep making every moment of our lives. Living a life of integrity means that we never have to spend time or energy questioning ourselves. When we listen to our hearts and do the right thing, life becomes simple. Our life and our actions are open for everyone to see, and we don't have to worry about hiding anything. Now over to Virginia.
Hi everybody, I hope you're well. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to develop and preserve integrity. There's 3 steps to this process, and I will go through each one with you. So step 1 is to define your values. You can't live by values if you don't know what you truly believe in. So start by defining your core values. These are values that no matter what the consequence, you're not going to compromise on. The second step is to analyze every choice you make. Often people cut corners or make bad decisions when they think no one is watching. Having integrity means that no matter what, you make the right choice, especially when no one is watching. You'll usually know what's right and wrong, although sometimes you might need some quiet time to figure it out. If you're not sure what the right choice is, ask yourself these 2 questions. If my choice was printed on the front page of the newspaper for everyone to see, would I feel okay about it? If I make this choice, will I feel okay with myself afterwards? Remember, honesty and integrity aren't values that you should live by when it's convenient. They're values that you should live by all the time. This includes the big choices and the little choices, the choices everyone sees and the choices that no one sees. And the third and final step is to encourage integrity. People with integrity often have the same characteristics. They're humble, they have a strong sense of self, they have high self-esteem, and they're self-confident. These characteristics are important because sometimes you'll be under intense pressure from others to make the wrong choice. Work on building and improving these characteristics within yourself so that you have the strength and courage to do the right thing when the time comes. Build your self confidence and self esteem and work on developing character. Spend time getting to know yourself and what you believe in. Develop friendships and work relationships with others who demonstrate integrity and who will support your decisions.
Thanks, Virginia. Um, so some further tips. Learn how to be assertive so that you can defend an ethical position from an adult point of view without like whining or being aggressive. Avoid white lies, right? Like when you don't really correct something that's not true, like you might not actually say the lie, but like you don't, you like just let someone kind of believe it. So those might seem harmless, but tiny lies are still lies, so always tell the truth. Learn to take responsibility for your actions. If you make a mistake, own up to it immediately and do whatever it takes to right the situation. Keep your word and don't make promises that you know you can't keep. Keep in mind that in times of fear, disaster, and chaos, the temptation is even greater to make a wrong choice. Use these opportunities to demonstrate your true character. Avoid seeming self-satisfied when you're acting with integrity. Stay humble and down to earth. Don't look for approval. And where you sensibly can, try to let people save face. So, how should Nancy, who we mentioned at the start of this article, have dealt with her boss? Okay, so this one's a little hard. Um, like there are other factors here, right? Like maybe the security of her job. Um, you might encounter situations where there are real power dynamics at play. And it's not always like a clear-cut situation. Um, I would say use your judgment, right? Use that definition of integrity that's like staying true to yourself, right? Um, like if you can, don't piss off the boss, but try to communicate your point, right? Like make yourself clear without self-sabotaging, I guess. Um, yeah, people have different opinions about this one. But basically, let's return to Nancy. So her boss was like, well, we damaged the product, but like, we'll just blame it on the trucking company. The customer probably won't even notice. And Nancy's feeling kind of like uncomfortable with this inconsistency, right? Um, so she should have dealt with the situation assertively right away. She could have asked for a private meeting and said something like, I'm worried about this. Even if the product works, the clients will be upset when they see the damage and they may not want to order from us again. And the shipping company will be annoyed too, and we use them a lot. Wouldn't it be better to tell the truth? So I like that one. I like that she's humble, right? She doesn't frame it as like a calling out sort of situation. And she uses like she talks about just like from a practical point of view, right? With like the customer and business and the shipping company. So I think that's a pretty good way to do that. What do you guys think? So to sum up some key points, having integrity means that you live in accordance to your deepest values, you're honest with everyone, and you always keep your word. Integrity is a highly valued trait, especially in leaders. When you live with integrity, you're more likely to be considered for important promotions and leadership positions. To develop and protect your integrity, start by identifying your core values, which we've done. Cool. These are the values that you refuse to compromise on no matter what. Next, analyze every choice you make to ensure that you're doing the right thing. Then, develop a culture of integrity around you. Work on building your self confidence and self esteem, and develop relationships with others who live with integrity. Yeah, I like that one. I like how I know that we've talked about this in workshop together, but like who you surround yourself with, right? And like um, people's goals, right? Like if you're kind of like around people who are impetuous and working on goals, it can really help motivate you to be working on those goals. So I think this kind of says a lot about, yeah, who you're surrounding yourself with. And like if you're around people who have integrity and you feel like um model that, like you probably won't encounter as many of these situations like with Nancy and her boss, right? Yeah, cool. Oh, do you guys remember when we did core values? I think that was like back when we did long-term goals. We talked about like we did that activity with circling your core values. Um, that was fun. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for this one. I hope that this has been informative and interesting, and I'll be back with the next video soon. Bye, guys.